to do is, let's divide the bait actually so that we have some on reserve. And we're gonna sight cast for these fish. Water's quite high, as you can see, and there's a few bigger Mojarra swimming about. So what we're gonna do is just sight fish for them, and we are positioned over at the side here. Oh, you can see some nice ones down there. All right, so yeah, we're sight casting. It is something that you could do pretty much almost anywhere, and just hook your shrimp like so. Okay, now the trick here is not to go too close, and you could only do this sort of fishing when it's high tide, and you don't go too close to the fish. You don't want to spook them. And we're tossing over to the deeper end right there. All the smaller fish are around here. All right, so let's try again. Just, if you look at the water, you could actually see the bigger ones mixed in with the smaller ones, but they're kind of deeper. A size 6 hook actually helps you. Okay, there's some right there. This is actually a brim. Okay, so quite easy. They grow bigger, so we're gonna actually release this guy right here if he stops moving. But it is that easy. So it's not only Mojarra that you're gonna catch with this method, and it's very easy. Something that you could do. Again, rig is very simple. It's just a size 6 hook, a split shot, 1000 spinning reel, and a light edging rod. So we sight casted for that one, but we're looking for Mojarra, so we will continue to look for those guys because they're very good to eat. Just wanted to show you how it's done, but you can see them. Well, first thing is that you actually see the shadow before you see the fish, and most of the time they're way back. Where there's a lot of bait fish here, they're way behind the bait fish. We are fishing on an incoming tide, and we're about an hour before the tide hits the peak. So you could also blind cast. Mojarra typically are in the deeper area. They're also called sand perch in the US. Okay, so we lost our bait, but there's some right there, but they're not that big. So some brim are actually mixed in, and they're good light tackle fun. My cousin is using soft plastics, and he's hooked onto one right there. Seems like he's having fun. All right, so queenfish. Let's go and investigate what's over at that end, because most of the time you actually see them grub around the flats. They're a flats fish, and last time the water was this high, I actually saw some fish over there. I'm targeting these canals, troughs. These are all exposed in the low tide. Small stuff. These fish are silver, and they grow to a very decent size. They're not the easiest to spot, but when you spot them, you don't really mistake them for something else. Wide-bodied, silver, good-looking fish. Right there. There's some right there. There we go. Oh, it's a queen. I didn't want to catch this. Okay, wrong fish. Still good fun on ultralight tackle. Just not the fish I want to catch. There's some smaller Mojarra right there. Man, that fish is fighting, huh? We're walking back to our spot there so that we could get our hook remover, because I don't want to touch the fish. But anyone could do this type of fishing, and it's very, very simple. And as you can see, it's not only one fish you could target. There's multiple species that you could actually catch using this method. Typically, we don't really catch queenies using dead bait. But I think this guy actually saw it on the fall, and basically that's why it bit. Dala mo hook remover mo. Yeah. Can't get this guy in. Thank you, sir. And looks like it here we go. Thank you. So the line's so thin, can hardly see it. But so the this is something that we don't want, the split shot actually going up the leader. What I want to do is have it stay really close. Now, a very good practice would be, after a fish like that, run your hand through your leader and see if there's damage. Okay, damage is up to there. Then you retie, because you don't want to mess up, especially when it comes to light stuff like this. 2 for 2, but not the right fish we're looking for. Very simple blood knot, or not, sorry, clinch knot for the knot, nothing fancy. Okay, so position the split shot right there. I think I'm gonna bite this so it stays more. So basically you're like fishing a jig head with this, and quite simple. I chunked up the shrimp, as you can see there, and all you do is run it once and then back again, like so. All right, now let's blind cast, because couldn't really see. Okay, getting biters here. Okay, got, ooh, lost it. So the bites are almost instant. The lighter your weight, the easier it is to use this thing. And you only want enough weight to get you to the bottom, and you're fishing really shallow. So it's an advantage. Makes your whole thing very sensitive. Okay. I hope this is what we're looking for. Okay, feels like it. Oh yeah, this is the one. We have the right one. They fight. So, very good fish to fish for. Yeah, we got one, boys. So much fun fishing for these. And there it is. Right there. And look at the size. As big as the palm. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. So we know that they're just there. All we have to do now is just take our ice chest. Alrighty, so we put the ice chest here. Again, we're fishing for food, so no if it's too small, then we can release them, but fish this size is exactly what we're looking for, so that is it. And now we know where they are. Okay, have to do a little bit of adjustment for this. I'm gonna tie a knot so the weight doesn't move. Split shots are notorious for this. There we go. I just want that length right there. Okay. Let's go catch another one. So they're just there, pretty close to shore. And when you catch one, you will most likely actually catch a few. Now, you can see that the water is moving that way, but in reality, the water is actually moving in. What happens is that the current goes in, hits the corner, and then turns around. So over at the end right there, or in the middle, the current is actually going this way. And what I'm doing is just casting near the seam. There we go. Another one. Good fun with this. Ooh, lost him. All right. They're still there. This is actually one of the fish that I really love fishing for in ultralight, using plastics. But today I just wanted to show a method that everyone can do. Okay, you could do this with any sort of rod and reel, but what I'm doing here is going really, really light. So this isn't a very expensive rod. In fact, for the whole Major Craft series, the saltwater is actually the cheapest line, or probably second cheapest. The reel is a Stratic, not very good reel, but not too expensive. Okay, and braid so that I can have good distance in casting. These are good sport too. There we go, another one. Especially with this, their lips are actually very, we call them rubber lips too. Their lips are very fragile, and you're fishing with braid that's very, very thin and 4-pound test leader. So, you know, you can pretty much fight this fish. Just be very gentle with them so you don't rip the lips. Light drags. And there we go. And just like that, we have two. It's one of my mom's favorite fish, so I want to catch some for her. Actually, you know what? Let's put this down here so that it's easier. All right, so it's hours of fun with these, and they're not bad fighters. It's so much fun. Now they live in the sand, so it doesn't matter if it's white sand or black sand. So if you have an area that's just all sand, more than likely you will find these fish there as well. Oof. Missed him. Now last night I spent some time to peel the shrimp and cut them up into chunks. And the most important thing is to use sea salt to toughen them up. Otherwise, they're going to rip from the hook easier. So with this, with the salt, kind of toughens the bait. And they won't be able to take it off the hook as fast. Again, when you're fighting, a loose drag is better. There are no snags on the beach here. So just be gentle with them. And when you're fighting like these on ultralight, so much fun. Bite kind of slowed down. But they're still there. I can see them. I think that school that was in front here actually kind of moved. Getting a tap. Okay. This is a flathead. All right, we're releasing this one. Too small. Okay. Too small, that one. I think our leader's too short now too. There we go. Whoa. It's a bit heavy, this one. Man, these things, if you fight them on the right tackle, they're actually quite good fighters. I think this is ready to... Oh no, it's not. There we go. Quite a good sized one. Hooked him just at the lip. And that's what you want, so that it's easy to remove them. There we go. So they're still there. But kind of have to wait for them now. And what you want really is, again, I can't emphasize this enough, just enough weight for you to reach the bottom. This is a 6'6". I chose this today because I was supposed to be side casting for them, but since they're farther than usual, can't really side cast for them, so we're just casting towards where we believe they are, and we've been quite successful at that. Okay, now bites have stopped in this area. What we need to do is just move a few steps. Try this here. Can't believe I missed that. Oh, missed him again. There we go. This is a bit on the small side. So this one goes back. Ouch. Okay, that's I have to take this because it swallowed it. Actually, not that small. Okay. There we go. I think this guy will make it. There we go. He swam away. That's cool. All right. I'm gonna change my leader and I'm gonna change my rig as well. So I'll get back to you after I change my leader, and I'll show you what I'm using because our leader is quite short now. All right, I'm gonna show you my knot. This is my leader right here. Braid. Then you just go once, like so. Put the leader and the braid through. Okay, hold on. Make sure that your leader and braid, you have long tags because it's easier to manage like that. Like so. Then 4 times. 5. There we go. And then all you do is pull your leader through. And I'm using about 4 meters right here. Okay. Tighten. Braid. Tighten your leader, and you'll end up with a very, very tiny knot. Pair of scissors, very helpful. Find the tag, cut the tag as close as possible. Oh, no tag. Cut it as close as possible, almost flush. Now, you have these tags, okay, always take them with you and dispose of them properly. Okay, now, from my weights, I'm still going to use something that's quite light, but instead of a split shot, I'll use like one of these with a hole in it. Okay, now take our leader, and what we're going to do is actually what's called a knocker rig. Very, very simple rig, which just insert it through the mini egg sinker. Like so. And then your hook. And what you end up with is basically a sliding sinker rig. it's a free running sinker, so that when the fish grabs the bait, they do not feel the weight. I like using really long leaders because it gives a break between the braid and the leader, so it's a bit more invisible. If your braid is too close, there's sometimes when the fish gets spooked. All right, so you have your sinker like so, and when the fish grabs, the sinker just moves. So that's what makes it so effective. Alrighty, now let's see, give you a bit more sensitivity, and especially when the fish are a bit spooked, they're easier to use, because when they grab it, you could just open the bail and let it run. Let the fish run when you get a bite. So that's how I fish it. Rod tip up. Okay, a bit farther out now. Let's just see what's out there. Sometimes this fish move to deeper water as the water recedes as well. So you just want to vary your casts and see where they're at. Water has receded greatly, if you could see right there. But the good thing about this type of fishing is that you can do it anytime, even when the water conditions are not so good. Okay. We'll walk to the distance here. So those are brim, huh? I always thought they were different fish. I just didn't know what they were, but the first fish we caught was actually a brim. Okay, we're getting a nibble. Okay, there we go. So give him a bit of line, strike, and there he is. Ooh, nice size. when you're fishing this, when you hear the drag going, don't reel. It'll introduce line twist, and you don't want that. So never reel against your drag on spinning reels. Okay, so you can see right there. Okay, reel when he's not pulling. If you reel against your drag, even if you're using braid, it's gonna be a nightmare. Now remember, we're using 3-pound test braid and 4-pound test leader, so I can't horse this fish in even if I wanted to. So take note. Okay, that's a very good sized one. Holy moly. All right. Do amo ni guro. Wow. Latab. Oh shoot. And it's in deep. Budlay na. Yeah. Budlay kwaon. Oh. Dude. We lost our rig, so I have to put in another sinker. So use the same rig, use the same technique, but I think we're gonna have to go to a different hook style. Still a size 6, but I think I have a chino, which is black right there. So this is also a size 6. Okay. A little bit heavier hook. So there's some big ones here. That's one of the bigger ones, that last one. So much fun. Fought really well. Okay, here we go. Ooh, what? Completely lost him. So knocker rigs are very easy to make, a very effective rig, and it keeps your bait to the bottom. And see, the thing is, you could even use this rig for tuna fishing with live bait. So overall, it's a very easy, fast, efficient rig for bait fishing. Huh, interesting. You actually see a lot of them here, but they're smaller ones. Yep. What? Didn't catch him. Twice I missed already. The bite has definitely slowed down a bit. Okay. Just keep on moving until we find them. Yep. Whoa. Definitely a Mojarra. Decent sized one. But that gave a really good run. That gave a very good run. So there it is right there on the top lip. Very good fish. I'm gonna try this place again. I kind of figured out. I think they're holding closer than what I'm casting to. So all we need to do is just cast it closer. Okay. So they like this chunk. So we're just gonna cast to where it's light colored and not any farther than that. And then we'll see if they're still here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, missed him. I got farmed. Okay. So they are closer than they are closer. There we go. Right there. The good thing about this rig is that it doesn't give the needlefish a chance. Yes, there we go. So it doesn't give the needlefish a chance, as opposed to the other rig where when you cast it out, there's a bit of a delay for it going down because there's still a length, whereas this acts like a jig head and the bait goes down together with the weight. So they're definitely there. So I was casting too far, basically. Okay, again on the top lip right there. Ooh. These hook removers are very handy. Very easy to remove. Removes the fish without touching them. So the move to a chino is actually very good because now we're hooking them on the lip and they don't swallow the hook even if it's pretty much the same size. The design of the chino makes it easy to just set the hook and they're there. Yep. Oh man, these guys are scrappy fighters. Wow. They're not awfully big, but they can pull. If you use the right tackle, it's literally hours of fun. Here we go. That's another nice one right here. This is about normal size. This one got it in a bit too deep. I think as soon as we cast it out, he already had it in his mouth. Oh, it's not bad actually. Ah, cut my line. Oh, we're gonna get the hook back at home. That's fine. Okay. Line twist. So bad now. All right, let's try a different rig. I brought some swivels here with me, so let's tie on a swivel and see if that makes things better. So this is the third rig that I'm going to show you guys. It is a sliding sinker rig. All it is the sinker is free sliding, just like a knocker rig, but we're going to add a swivel. To the line, which will help us with the line twists. Okay, because right now we're getting a lot of line twists in the mono, in the leader bit, so we're gonna try and eliminate that, because if it reaches the braid, that's gonna be bad news. Okay, now what we'll do is actually cast it out so that the twists, helps if you actually open your bail. Cast it out, okay, and then just reel it. And it will actually help take those twists out. Here we go. Helps a little bit. So now we're almost twist free. Now we're gonna use the same leader, which is 4-pound test, and we're gonna use about a foot or so. So connect the other end of the swivel to the leader and then connect your hook at the end. It's that simple. Okay. Okay, again on the top lip right there. Oh, these hook removers are very handy. Very easy to remove. Removes the fish without touching them. So the move to a chino is actually very good because now we're hooking them on the lip and they don't swallow the hook even if it's pretty much the same size. The design of the chino makes it easy to just set the hook and they're there. Yep. Oh man, these guys are scrappy fighters. Wow. They're not awfully big, but they can pull. If you use the right tackle, it's literally hours of fun. Here we go. That's another nice one right here. This is about normal size. This one got it in a bit too deep. I think as soon as we cast it out, he already had it in his mouth. Oh, it's not bad actually. Ah, cut my line. Oh, we're gonna get the hook back at home. That's fine. Okay. Line twist so bad now. All right, let's try a different rig. I brought some swivels here with me, so let's tie on a swivel and see if that makes things better. So this is the third rig that I'm going to show you guys. It is a sliding sinker rig. All it is the sinker is free sliding, just like a knocker rig, but we're going to add a swivel. To the line, which will help us with the line twists. Okay, because right now we're getting a lot of line twists in the mono, in the leader bit, so we're gonna try and eliminate that, because if it reaches the braid, that's gonna be bad news. Okay, now what we'll do is actually cast it out so that the twists, ooh, helps if you actually open your bail. Cast it out, okay, and then just reel it. And it will actually help take those twists out. There we go. Helps a little bit. So now we're almost twist free. Now we're gonna use the same leader, which is 4-pound test, and we're gonna use about a foot or so. So connect the other end of the swivel to the leader and then connect your hook at the end. It's that simple. Okay.